Turanshah redirects here. For Saladin's brother, see Turanshah. Turanshah, also Turanshah, was a Kurdish ruler of Egypt, a son of Sultan as-Saleh Ayyub, a member of Ayyubid dynasty. He became Sultan of Egypt for a brief period in 1249–50. Turanshah was not trusted by his father, who sent him to Hassan Keef to keep him away from Egyptian politics. He learned of his father's death from Faris ad-Din Aktay, commander of his father's Bahra Mamluks, who had been sent from Egypt to bring him back and pursue the war against Louis IX of France and the Seventh Crusade. Aktay arrived at Hassan Keef early in Ramadan 647, December 1249, and a few days later, 11 Ramadan, the 18th of December, Turanshah and around 50 companions had started off for Egypt. The party took a circuitous route to avoid being intercepted by hostile Ayyubid rivals, and on 28 Ramadan 647 quarters January 1250 they arrived at the village of Qasr, near Damascus, making their ceremonial entry the next day, when Turanshah was officially proclaimed Sultan. Turanshah remained in Damascus for 3 weeks, distributing huge sums of money to secure loyalty among the troops and notables of the city. He then set off for Egypt and arrived in Mansoura with only a small retinue on 19 Dhulqa'dah, the 23rd of February. Ignoring his father's written advice to honor and rely on the Bahra Mamluks, he rapidly set about appointing his own Mamluks to key positions. He also promoted many black slaves to prominence. A black eunuch was made Ustadar while another became Emir Janda. Both of these approaches alienated the powerful Bahra Mamluks. The account given of Turanshah by historians writing during the Mamluk period cannot necessarily be relied on, but according to them, he was unbalanced, of low intelligence, and had a nervous twitch. On one occasion he went about chopping the tops off candles, shouting, "This is how I will deal with the Bahra Mamluks." Eventually the Bahris had had enough of him. They had been offended by Turanshah's treatment of them and, possibly, believed that once he had recovered Damietta from the Crusaders, he would turn against them. A faction of them, led by Baybars, resolved to kill him, and his murder was described in particular detail by Crusader historian Jean de Joinville. On 28 Muharram 648 Halves May 1250, Turanshah gave a great banquet. At the end of the feast, Baybars and a group of Mamluk soldiers rushed in and tried to kill him. Turanshah was injured, as apparently a sword blow had split his hand open. Wounded, he managed to escape to a tower next to the Nile River. The Mamluks pursued him and set the tower on fire. He was forced down by the flames, tried to run for the river, but was struck in the ribs by a spear. He fled into the river, trailing the spear. His pursuers stood on the banks and shot at him with arrows, even as he begged for his life, offering to abdicate. Unable to kill him from the shore, Baybars himself waded out into the water and hacked the Sultan to death. It is said that Faris ad-Din Aktay then cut out his heart and took it to the captive Louis IX, hoping to receive a reward, which he did not. According to some accounts it was in fact Aktay rather than Baybars who murdered him. Turanshah was the last in the main Ayyubid line to rule in Egypt, with the exception of the 6-year-old child Al-Ashraf Musa, who was briefly installed as nominal sultan by the Bahra Mamluk Aybak in a bid to present a veneer of Ayyubid legitimacy to Mamluk rule in Egypt at a time when the Syrian Ayyubids were threatening to invade. Bibliography: Amatai Price, Reuven, Mongols and Mamluks. The Mamluk El-Khanid War, Ayyubid. Cambridge, Great Britain. Cambridge University Press. p. 26. ISBN 0-521-46226-6.